Hello! Today I'm making a review video on a budget gaming laptop. So, are you looking for a budget laptop to do your gaming on? Well, a machine that I have for you today is called ROG Strix GL702 from Asus. I bought this machine about 5 months ago, and in my opinion, at $1,500, it provides the best bang for the buck even to this day. The overall build of the laptop is solid. The top panel is made out of brushed aluminum, with just a freaking fingerprint magnet. But everything else is made out of plastic, so there's that. The orange ROG accents are not too gamery, I would say, so I believe that this laptop will suit everyone when it comes to its looks. So the keyboard has minimal flex, and so does the screen. Also, the keyboard has this tactile feel that I really like. It also has a red backlight, which is usual these days, and it also gets pretty bright, so yeah, that's good. The only thing that I do not enjoy about this machine is its trackpad. It just seems like it's haunted or something. Sometimes it fails to recognize your finger, sometimes it fails to distinguish between right and left mouse click. So that is the most annoying part of this laptop. Okay, enough about the failing trackpads, let's talk specs. So the laptop is packed with an Intel Core i7 6700HQ processor or an Intel Core i5 6300HQ. I went with the 6700 one, and if you can, I would recommend for you to do the same. The 6700 factory clocked to 3.6 GHz should be able to handle your editing, 3D modeling or gaming needs. Overall, I believe the CPU is not the component you should be cheaping out on, since it is the only component that you can't really replace or upgrade in the future. So yeah, don't cheap out on that one. Next thing is RAM. The laptop has two DIMM DDR4 upgradable RAM sockets, so it can have up to 32 GB of RAM. Mine came with 16, which I believe is plenty for today and can be easily upgraded in the future. When it comes to graphics cards, you have two options. Either NVIDIA GeForce GTX 970M or GTX 1060. So I picked 1060 because, well, it is about 50% faster than the 970M, and it should also be a bit more future-proof. But both cards should be able to power the 17.3-inch 16:9 ratio Full HD anti-glare display panel, and they should do it pretty well. And they also should give you a reasonable frame rates in games. Speaking about games, there are two storage options for you to pick from. 2.5-inch 1TB HDD and 1TB HDD with PCIe 128GB SSD. I thought that the SSD size they're offering is way too small to be practical, so I decided to add my own later. With the 4-cell 76Wh polymer battery, this laptop seems to be medium at best. It only brings you anywhere from 50 minutes up to an hour and a half of working time. Of course, that is on load, which is only acceptable if you have a power cord nearby. In my case, it is just fine, it's not a problem, since I only carry this laptop from one socket at home to another socket at work. There are more I/O ports than I will ever need, so thumbs up from me. On the left side we have one AC adapter plug, a LAN jack, a mini display port, one HDMI port, one USB 3.1 Type-C port as well as Thunderbolt 3 in the same port, one USB 3.0 port, and a combined 3.5mm headphone and microphone jack. On the right we have a Kensington lock, two more USB 3.0 ports, and a SD card reader. Okay, enough about the hardware, let's see how it performs in games and benchmarks. So the first test that I ran was IDA64 component stability test. So I wanted to see if the CPU throttled, and it did. At 15-minute mark it did throttle. Keep in mind that I did not use any cooler for the laptop, so I mean, in normal use cases this shouldn't, you know, be a big issue. Second was a Cinebench CPU test, which, you know, well, it was okay. It's called 657, the CPU. Then I did a OpenGL GPU test, which ended up scoring about 68.2 frames. Well, not about, exactly. Next was HDD drive, you know, speed test. It's not spectacular, but you know, these were the results. Now enough of the benchmarks, let's see how this gaming laptop performs in games. I recorded 4 games. So the first game was GTA 5, and I've put all the settings onto max. The resolution of course was 1080p, and yeah, the game worked just fine. I mean, it got about 60 FPS average. It dipped sometimes into like the higher 40s, lower 50s, let's say so. But yeah, the game ran smoothly and it was enjoyable. So the next game was Crysis 3. That game saw some dips into the lower 20s, but despite that, during the whole course of the playing session, the average sat at about 45, and the most you were able to see was about 60. Next game was Hitman, like the new one, the new Hitman, the new one, not like the Hitman Absolution, but the new one, Hitman, trademark, right? So that one, it was showing some better results than the last two. It was sitting at about 50 FPS most of the time, though I was trying a new way of recording my footage. I was recording with my main PC, so it was a bit, you know, hard to distinguish the real actual frame rate and, well, the frame rate that I was seeing. So yeah, but from what I saw, it was about 50 FPS stable. Yeah, the fourth and last game was, well, not the last one, but the fourth, the last one, was CSGO. This laptop did not have any problems dealing with the game. It got about 140 FPS and without any, you know, major dips. It maybe went to like 120, which is practically the same as 140. So yeah, it worked just perfectly, you know. There's not that much else to say about it. So overall, I'm very happy with this laptop, even though it has its own downsides. And while I'm ending this video, you can see me filming the laptop, filming me, filming it, filming me, filming it again. Inception. Yeah. Okay, anyway. I hope you liked this review. If you have any more questions, just feel free to ask in the comments down below. I try to answer to as much of them comments as possible. As always, thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye.